My mother slid a white envelope across the dinner table. Your sister's wedding deposit is due tomorrow. I opened it. $20,000. I looked up. Mom, what is this? Chloe's venue deposit. You're paying it. I stared at the invoice. The country club wedding was nearly $60,000. Chloe and her fiancé couldn't comfortably afford it. But my mother had already told relatives the venue was secured. She had made a promise she couldn't keep. And now she expected me to fix it. I'm not paying $20,000. You can afford it? That doesn't mean I owe it. You have savings. I've been saving for 3 years. For what? A house. She waved her hand. You can save again. My chest tightened. That money was the biggest part of the down payment I'd worked years to build. I'm not giving Chloe my house fund. Your sister only gets married once, and I only get one chance to buy my first home. Her face hardened. You've always been difficult when it comes to Chloe. I swallowed. I've helped this family plenty. Then help her one more time. No. For the first time, her calm expression cracked. If you walk out tonight, don't expect me to help you later. I picked up my purse. I've been fixing everyone else's problems long enough. As I headed toward the hallway, Mom casually asked, still handling those big equipment purchases at work? Sometimes. Why? No reason. I shrugged and stepped into the bathroom. My purse was on a chair near the dining room, partly covered by my coat. When I returned, Mom was clearing the plates. Nothing looked unusual. I left. At 1:17 a.m., my phone vibrated. A notification filled the screen. $20,000, Grandview Country Club. Authorization declined. Another alert followed. Suspicious transaction detected. Card temporarily restricted. I sat upright. I hadn't made that payment. I grabbed my purse. My personal cards were still there. Then I checked the slot where I kept my company procurement card. Empty. I froze. My mother's question about my work suddenly came back to me. So did the wedding deposit. But suspicion wasn't proof. Before reporting the card stolen, I called Mom. She answered quickly. Violet? Did you see my company card tonight? A pause. Why? Someone just attempted a $20,000 payment at Grandview Country Club. Silence. Then Mom said something that made my stomach drop. They shouldn't have tried charging it yet. I froze. What did you just say? I mean, if you're talking about the wedding deposit, how did you know it was the wedding deposit? Another silence. Then she whispered, Violet, I have to go. The call ended. I stared at my phone. I still didn't have proof she'd taken my card. But now I knew something else. My mother knew exactly when that $20,000 payment was supposed to happen. Mom didn't answer my call. I tried once more, then stopped. If she'd arranged the payment, Grandview Country Club was the only place that could tell me what she'd said. The coordinator checked Chloe's reservation. There was an attempted $20,000 payment last night. Who submitted it? Your mother. My stomach tightened. What did she tell you? She said you'd confirm the payment in the morning. Nothing more. No explanation. No story about family. Just confidence that I would somehow approve a charge I'd already refused. Was the money taken? No, the transaction was rejected and the card was restricted. I thanked her and ended the call. For a moment, I stared at the reservation confirmation on my screen. Mom knew I'd said no, yet she'd acted as if my refusal didn't matter. Then Chloe called. Violet? Her voice was trembling. The venue called me. They said our deposit failed. I know. You know? I just spoke to them. There was silence. Did you know Mom was trying to use $20,000? No. Her answer came immediately. I thought Mom had already paid. With what? I honestly don't know. She wouldn't tell me. I hesitated. Did she ever mention my company card? Chloe went quiet. Your work card? Yes. No, but... But what? Last night, Mom asked me how much you usually handle at work. I thought she was just making conversation. My chest tightened. What exactly did she ask? Whether you still handled those large corporate purchases. I told her I thought you did. I closed my eyes. That wasn't proof, but it explained why Mom had known exactly which card to look for. Chloe, I said, did Mom tell you anything else? She swallowed. She said something strange. What? She told me that if you refused to pay, the wedding would still happen. How? I asked her that. And? She just smiled and said, I already have another way. I sat completely still. Not another way to get my money. Another way to make sure the wedding happened. I didn't know what that meant, but I knew I needed answers quickly. My phone buzzed again. This time it was my company's corporate security department. Urgent. Unauthorized card activity requires immediate review. Below it was a meeting request. 8:00 a.m. Security review, Violet Carter. My pulse jumped. I checked the time. 7:16. 44 minutes. This wasn't just about getting the card back anymore. My company had detected a $20,000 charge attempt outside my normal purchasing activity. And now they wanted me to explain it. If they believed I'd knowingly allowed someone to use the card, I could face an internal investigation and potentially lose the purchasing authority my position depended on. I grabbed my laptop. Then my phone buzzed again. A new message from Mom. Just 4 words. Don't make this worse. I stared at the screen. For the first time, I wondered what she was afraid I'd discover. At 7:58 a.m., I walked into the security office at my company's headquarters. Daniel Reeves from corporate security was waiting with Megan, our compliance director. Daniel opened a file. Violet, did you authorize a $20,000 payment to Grandview Country Club? No. Did you give anyone permission to use your procurement card? No. Where was the physical card last night? My purse. And who had access to your purse? I swallowed. My mother. Megan looked up. Did your mother know the card was a company card? Yes. How? I explained what had happened at dinner. Earlier that evening, Mom had asked about a large equipment purchase I'd mentioned from work. I'd briefly shown her the black procurement card when she asked what kind of account my company used for major purchases. At the time, it had felt like an ordinary conversation. Now it didn't. Daniel continued. Did she know the card could handle a $20,000 transaction? I don't know if she knew the exact limit. Did you tell her? I told her it was used for large business purchases. He wrote something down. Did you report the card missing before the transaction? No, I discovered it was missing after the fraud alert. Why didn't you immediately call security? Because I suspected my mother had taken it, and I wanted to know whether she still had it before making the accusation. Megan studied me. That was understandable. But from this point forward, don't contact anyone to alter or conceal anything related to the incident. I won't. Daniel closed the file. The card remains suspended. Since the transaction was rejected and you didn't authorize it, we're treating you as the reporting employee, not the subject of the investigation. Relief hit me, but it didn't last. What happens now? We investigate who attempted the charge and how they obtained the card information. I nodded. When I left the office at 8:46, I called Chloe. She answered immediately. Violet, did Mom ever tell you the payment would come from a corporate account? Silence. Then Chloe whispered, Yes. When? Last night. She said she had access to a business account that could handle the deposit. My stomach dropped. Did she say it was mine? No, but she mentioned your company. I stopped walking. Mom hadn't simply grabbed the first card she saw. She had known a corporate account was available, and she'd known I had access to one. That still didn't prove she'd planned to steal my specific card. But it meant the theft hadn't been some desperate accident. Then Chloe said, Violet, there's something else. What? Mom told me she had already promised the venue that your money would cover the deposit. I looked back toward the headquarters building. She had made that promise before I ever agreed. And suddenly, the question wasn't why Mom stole my card. It was how long she'd been planning to make me pay. The venue manager verified my identity before sending me the email. I opened it with shaking hands. It was from Mom, sent 3 days before the dinner. She hadn't written, Violet will pay. She'd written something more careful. I need to make sure Chloe's reservation stays secure. My daughter handles major purchasing through her employer, so the deposit shouldn't be a problem. I'll speak with her before the payment is processed. I read it twice. Mom hadn't asked me. She had already told the venue my money, or at least my access to money, was part of the plan. Chloe stood beside me, staring at the screen. She planned this before she even asked you, she whispered. I think she knew I'd resist. Chloe swallowed. Then she called Mom. Mom answered immediately. What happened? Chloe's voice was quiet. Why did you tell the venue Violet would cover the deposit? Silence. Then Mom sighed. I was trying to protect you. You were trying to protect yourself, Chloe said. Mom's voice sharpened. I never said Violet had to pay. I said I'd figure something out. You used her company card. I was going to fix it. You didn't ask her? I knew she'd eventually understand. That was the sentence that broke something in me. You didn't know that, I said. You decided it for me. Mom went quiet. Then came the defense I'd expected. You've always helped this family. You paid Chloe's medical bills when she was younger. You helped me with the house repairs. I thought for once you'd do this without making everything difficult. I stared at the phone. So that was her calculation. My past generosity had become permission in her mind. Chloe shook her head. I'm not doing this anymore. Mom's voice cracked. Chloe, this is your wedding. No, Chloe replied. It's supposed to be mine. She canceled the country club reservation that afternoon. The expensive venue disappeared. So did the story Mom had been telling everyone. When relatives asked why the wedding had changed, Chloe told them the truth. The original wedding had depended on money that wasn't hers to promise. Mom didn't lose the wedding. She lost control of the story. Corporate security later confirmed the transaction was unauthorized and restored my account after reviewing the evidence. No one fired me, but I changed one thing permanently. Mom no longer had access to my finances, my work information, or decisions about my money. 3 weeks later, Chloe married Daniel in a small botanical garden. There were 32 guests. Handwritten vows. Simple flowers. No country club. No $60,000 bill. And when I watched Chloe smile at Daniel, I finally understood what Mom had never been willing to see. Saying no hadn't destroyed our family. It had stopped one person from controlling it. Mom had mistaken control for love. For the first time, we stopped letting her. Hit subscribe for more unforgettable family drama and revenge stories.